Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video as I try to get this microphone. Very good friend of mine, Efree, sent in a paid request where he wanted me to review each of these Blu-rays. I'll probably separate them into different videos just to make it easier. If anyone wants to request pretty much any type of video, whether it be topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, news, lists, movies, games, like pretty much talk about any type of stuff, feel free. You just send a request either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. So, first off, we have the Blu-ray of The Hard Way. And yeah, this is from my good friend Efree. Thank you so much. Now, The Hard Way, for those who don't know, this is a film from the early 90s, starring Michael J. Fox and James Woods. Now, the plot of the film is Michael J. Fox is an actor. He really wants his role, but he's looked at as too young. No one wants him to grow up. He's not right for the part, but Michael J. Fox really wants this. So in order to get experience, because the movie deals with a cop, team up with a real-life cop. The real-life cop is played by James Woods. And so it's a buddy movie where cop James Woods and actor Michael J. Fox have to deal working together. James Woods taking him from point A to point B, while this killer, played by Stephen Lane, yes, Stephen Lane, who would be in Avatar, Don't Breathe, many other films, is going around being a maniac from here to here to there. Now, it's directed by John Badham, and for those who don't know who that is, he directed Saturday Night Fever, Short Circuit, War Games, Stakeout. I would say maybe in my top 10 favorite directors. There's a lot of people to put in this, I'm not sure, but he's a guy that doesn't get talked about a lot, but he made a very successful string of motion pictures. And The Hard Way, to me, is a fun one. It's an underrated one. It's a flick no one really talks about. I think it has some entertaining moments of satire dealing with Hollywood. James Woods is very, very funny. He's just so exasperated working with Michael J. Fox. He's like, he's always around me. And they share a wonderful chemistry with each other. The rest of the cast, you got LL Cool J. I think might have been the first film he was in. I mentioned Stephen Lane as the villain. Christina Ricci, very, very young. Christina Ricci has a role in this. And it's one of those movies that, like I said, it's very entertaining, has some pretty good action and stunt work, especially the finale where our heroes are hanging from this billboard for Michael J. Fox's upcoming movie, and again, there's some good stunt work involved there. Some decent action set pieces, which John Badham had experience working on films like Stakeout. But what makes the film work is James Woods and Michael J. Fox. I think they fit together very well. But this is a review of the movie. I've just figured talk about a little bit. This is a review of the Blu-ray. Now, it's from Tino Lorber. Tino Lorber, pretty much all their releases, they do sort of a similar style where the side is the same type of text, so there's no personality to it. The back is the same. Usually they have two pictures. The features are in gray. Even the disc itself, there's nothing on picture-wise, artwork-wise. It's just the very same. Like if I pick up another random one, this is another one that Efree wanted me to review. DC tab, yet again you have the two pictures up top, any features in gray, yet again no artworks, yet again the same text. So maybe they do that just to really pinpoint to everybody that this is them and no one else, but I do think a bit more variety would be appreciated, but it's not a big deal. The picture quality, I thought, I'm not a picture aficionado. There are people on Blu-Ray.com, others that do that much, much better than I do. I thought it looked good. I mean, I did not notice any errors. I did not notice any mistakes. Like, there's nothing missing or screwed up that I noticed. It definitely looked better than the DVD I had, which was a flipper disc, this Michael J. Fox collection, which had Greedy, Secret to My Success, and I forgot what else. It was The Hard Way, The Secret to My Success, Greedy, and there might have been another movie. Might have been those three, honestly. Might have just been a 3-pack. It's been a while. You also have Delroy Lindo, Penny Marshall, Luis Guzman. Now, going back to the Blu-ray, it does have not much for features. It has a trailer. You also have a commentary. John Badham, producer / set unit director Rob Cohen, and film historian / filmmaker Daniel Kramer. The commentary, the three of them are together, but because of the pandemic, two of them are calling in. It's strange because every once in a blue moon, you hear John Badham very crystal clear. It's like every once in a while, John Badham must have done something with himself. Because then, like, you can hear he's on a speaker, again, called in, because not in the same room, pandemic, but every once in a while, boom, he's super, super clear. And that lasts like 30 seconds. And as John Badham talking about a scene or two, they gets back to the three of them. And I don't know what the whole deal with that was. I mean, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's anything I would ever listen to again. It's worth at least one listen. It's nice to hear talk about the film. They seem proud of the film, which is very nice. It's definitely a bit more of a technical commentary. But there's some interesting info to be had. The ones in particular, originally it was going to be Gene Hackman and Kevin Kline as these two. Kevin Kline was going to be the actor, and Gene Hackman would have been the cop. And Gene Hackman was ready to do it. Kevin Kline, I guess, got some play. And then Gene Hackman's like, I don't know, Michael J. Fox, like this little guy. So I guess Gene Hackman wasn't complaining about the talent, but just the size, which I think that was a mistake. I mean, it's funny because not too long before this, he did Loose Cannons with Dan Aykroyd. Now, I do enjoy Loose Cannons for what it is. I would say this film is a better made film. Although, again, Loose Cannons did make me crack up. But it's like, you're fine with working with Dan Aykroyd, but not Michael J. Fox. Again, I didn't understand that, but it would be a different movie if this was Gene Hackman and Kevin Kline. But I'm glad it was these two. I think it worked out for the best. I really, truly do. Because James Woods is one of my favorite actors. This is one of my favorite roles of his. He gets to really let loose in R-rated fashion, and his energy, intensity, comedy. I would love to have seen James Woods do more of this. But the next time I kind of saw him do this was John Carpenter's Vampires. But even more of an anti-heroic figure. At times, sometimes it seemed like Rob Cohen wanted to take over the conversation at times. Granted, it was nothing rude or mean. He seems very hyper and proud to be a part of this. But there were times I'm like, hey, could you let John Badham talk? Because he directed it. You were second unit. But they seem very friendly. They've known each other for a long time. To be honest, the moderator, the film historian Daniel Kramer, he didn't really have much time to talk because there's not a lot of dead spots in it. So I do appreciate that. Other nuggets. James Woods, apparently, even though in the film he's supposed to hate Michael J. Fox's character, James Woods, apparently it was very hard for him to do because he really loved working with Michael J. Fox. That the shoot involved improvisation. John Badham mentions comic scenes can go dead after too many run-throughs, which that's understandable. There's a scene in the film where James Woods talked about how it's important to be a cop, it's serious to be a cop, and then Michael J. Fox goes, "That was fucking great, say that again." Apparently John Badham really enjoyed that and put that on his director's reel. So if you see a John Badham director's reel, that's one of the scenes. So he's definitely proud of the film. There's a little bit of controversy because at one point there was a Scientologist joke, and a lot of people in Hollywood complained. So I think at one point it was taken out for DVDs and such, and I could not find the line in it. People have said it's put back in here. I couldn't recognize it, but I might have just missed it or bypassed me. The composer of the film, what was his name? Arthur B. Rubinstein. He passed away a few years ago from lung cancer, and Rob Cohen didn't even know about that. So he found that first on the commentary because John Badham mentioned it, which that's too bad. It is fairly technical, like the ending, how they shot the scene where they're hanging from it. Apparently that whole scene where they're hanging from the billboard, that was supposed to be for the beginning of the film. I guess when James Woods is chasing Stephen Lane, and then they be up on this billboard of Michael J. Fox's character, they went, nah, let's put that to the end of the film because it's such a big part of it. And then they came up with the idea of the car chase at the beginning of the film. Yeah, it was a nice commentary. I wouldn't say they were dry, but it's just one of those I would never listen to again. But there's nothing bad or wrong about it. I guess for me, I don't listen to a lot of commentaries repeatedly unless it's a very fun, entertaining, laugh out loud commentary. I'm not saying every commentary has to do that. I'm just saying ones that I re-listen to over and over again. But it was nice to hear that info. I never knew Kevin Kline and Gene Hammond were up for this. So there's a couple nuggets like that. But it's more technical. And like I said, they seem proud of the film. And it's sad they did not get an interview with James Woods, because I know James Woods is a fan of the film. Because there was an interview, and the website is called Den of Geek. Den of Geek, I forget what year. But James Woods was interviewed, and he talked about how he likes the film. He really enjoyed the movie. He liked to work with John Badham. He liked to work with Michael J. Fox. So he's proud, and he likes the film. I don't know, was he asked? I mean, he did the commentary for John Carpenter's Vampires. Yet I don't know what the deal was. And there are trailers: The Hard Way, Secret to My Success, Life with Mike D, Jungle Fever, Digstown, Another Stakeout, and Cop. Of course, The Hard Way, you know my feelings on that. Secret to My Success, I remember being okay with it, but it wasn't my favorite Michael J. Fox. I prefer The Frighteners, Back to the Future films, this movie above that. Life with Mikey, I could never really get into. I didn't hate it, but I could never really get into Life with Mikey. Jungle Fever, I didn't see, but I'm not a Spike Lee guy. Digstown, I haven't seen it in a long time, so I don't remember it. That has James Woods and Louis Gossett Jr. Another Stakeout. Why the fuck is the first Stakeout down on Blu-ray, but another Stakeout is? And that's the second fucking Blu-ray, too. Because the original studio released on Blu-ray, and now, what, another fucking Blu-ray by Tino Lorber? Like, can't we get the first Stakeout on Blu-ray? Would that be okay? Cop, what's funny about Cop, I love it with James Woods, but in the trailer they show the ending, and so it's not just new films that show the entire fucking film. If you watch the trailer to Cop with James Woods, they show the entire fucking ending, which to me is the best part of the movie, although I do like the rest of it. But wow, I guess because I had not seen the trailer of the Cop before, I just saw the movie, I'm like, they showed the ending in the fucking trailer. So overall, if you like the film, sure, pick up the Blu-ray because it looked good picture quality wise. There are no errors, mistakes I noticed, and I'm glad to have it because, like I said, I'm a fan of the film, but sadly not much features. Would have been nice like James Woods or Like even a on-camera interview with Stephen Lang, because I think it was one of his first big roles, at least, in a major studio movie, or maybe on-camera interview with John Badham, or something to that effect. But yeah, I wish it had more features. That was disappointing in that matter, but I knew that going in, so it's not like, oh my god, I'm shocked. So overall, yeah, I liked. It was fun watching the movie again. You know, it still held up for me, and it's a buddy film that no one talks about. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye bye.